Hey everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to talk about the new legendary hero coming this Friday on the Miracle banner. This is Jenny. She is a legendary hero from the Wiser's Eye faction, an attack type unit with the green mark. And she looks pretty good, but I don't think if she is gonna be that worth it, to be honest. But she has a pretty interesting kit. Let's dive into it. But first of all, let me summarize what is she gonna do. So mainly she is gonna be a damage dealer, probably a good one. She is gonna increase her own crit damage and piercing rate over time. She can increase the cooldown of the skills of all enemies using the ultimate and lower their crit damage by 500%, but it has a condition. We are going to talk about that, so let's first talk about the basic attack. 360% attack damage on a single target, 60% chance to inflict tenacity down, 60%, so you are going to deal more damage with your crit damage on that target. First active skill, she is great because she's gonna target all enemies, 300% attack damage. This is not a lot, but if she has a lot of crit damage and piercing rate over time, then the 300% attack damage are gonna matter. 100% chance to inflict severe wound and feebleness 2 for 2 turns, so this is great, and even better if you are targeting Gwyneth. And in PvP, if you don't have many cleansers in front of you, the severe wound can be really strong too. On the ultimate, she's gonna grant herself crit damage up to, so 60% more crit damage for 2 turns, and then deal 360% attack damage to all enemies. With the passive, every time she's gonna cast a skill proactively, she's gonna get 1 layer of tarot card. For every target, she is gonna hit up to 20 layers, and when she has 10 layers, she's gonna start getting some extra crit damage and piercing rate. 2% crit damage increase for every layer of tarot card, and 1% piercing rate for every layer. By the way, every time she's gonna obtain 1 layer of tarot card, she is gonna get 0.5% turn meta increase. I don't know if it is still gonna increase her turn meta when she is gonna have the 20 layers of tarot card though. Before talking about the exclusives, the kit look pretty good for now, but something is missing in my opinion. You have severe wound, you have feebleness 2, tenacity down 60%, maybe average damage because you have low coefficient, but you have some crit damage and piercing rate increase, so an average hero I would say without exclusive so far. So now let's have a look to the exclusives. On the first one, after she deals damage on the ultimate, there is an 80% chance to increase the cooldowns of all the target's skill by 1 turn. 1 turn is not enough. I mean, if you are starting the wave, if you are increasing the cooldowns of all enemies' skill by 1 turn only, they are gonna get the cooldown back when they are gonna take their turn, so it's not efficient. If you have a look to the kit of Ben Austin and Ina, they are increasing the cooldown of the skills of enemies by 2 turns directly, and this is the way to go with cooldown increase. This is not gonna work if she can do that only by 1 turn. At least it's not gonna work at the beginning of the wave if you take the turn before enemies. And then at the beginning of an enemy's turn, if the max cooldown of all their active skills is 0, it's gonna reduce their crit damage by 500% until the end of their turn. So this is really strong. But I don't understand exactly what 0 means for the cooldowns of the skills. Does it mean that if they have their cooldowns, so if they have all their skills available, it's gonna count as 0? I think it's gonna work that way. So in fact, you need to play before them to do that. And if you can play before them using that skill, the ultimate, right at the beginning of the wave, then you are gonna reduce their crit damage by 500%, and then it's gonna have a huge impact in PvP. So I think this is the way it works. And if you are using that with another hero in the same team, such as Ben Austin or Ina, who can increase the cooldowns on enemy skills, then it might be strong. So then the exclusive level 2, still on the ultimate. Before dealing damage, you are going to remove all buffs from enemies which are not attribute buffs. So if they have defense up, tenacity up, and other similar buffs, then you won't be able to remove them. It's still good because it's gonna remove the shield, immortal, damage immunity, block debuff, but it could have been better than that. And after that, she's gonna grant all your team crit damage up 60% for 2 turns instead of herself only. So why not? This is a good exclusive in my opinion. And finally, the exclusive level 3. At the beginning of the battle, she's gonna get directly 10 layers of tarot cards. So maybe she is gonna get 5% turn meta increase. Because remember that she is getting 0.5% every time she's getting one tarot card. 5% turn meta increase at the beginning of the wave is pretty good for a damage dealer, right? And also her crit damage and piercing rate are gonna be a bit more increased with every tarot card. 2% more crit damage per layer and 0.5% piercing rate per layer. Up to 40% crit damage increase and 30% piercing rate. And also, when she has 20 layers of tarot card, all her active skills are gonna deal an additional 10% of the target's max HP in damage. But it's gonna cap on her own attack. So don't expect that skill to deal high damage on bosses. So I don't really know what to think about the hero. She looks pretty good, pretty decent, average hero with something more, I would say. Maybe she's gonna deal average damage thanks to the crit damage increase and the piercing rate she's gonna have. The 5% turn meta increase she can get at the beginning of the wave with the exclusive 3 is pretty cool in my opinion if it works. The cooldown increase and the crit damage decrease on enemies can be really strong at the beginning of the battle if you can play before enemies, in PvP mostly. So tell me what do you think about that in the comment below. I'm curious to know your advice on that hero. She looks pretty good in my opinion, but you have better heroes today. So in my opinion, it's gonna be better to save your miracle runes to prepare for the next limited hero. Maybe we are gonna have a new one coming in June, so be careful when you are spending your miracle runes. So guys, that was all for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If it's the case, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Have a nice day and see you in the next video. Bye bye.